50 or 60% of you's going, don't you bloody go there, pal. Because we don't fit there or belong there or feel comfortable there. Does that make sense? But there's lots of these other things. So you've got 60,000 programs. In fact, I think we've got it here somewhere. You've got about 60,000 programs. You pick up about 45,000 of those programs before you're 7 years old. So what we're here to say is the fact that you might struggle is probably not your fault. You've probably been programmed to get the sort of results that you're getting, and that you'll need to reprogram to be able to get the results that you want. Does that make sense? Now the good news is it's not your fault. The bad news is you'll have to do something about it. So 60,000 programs, there's just heaps of them. If we have a look at a few more, have any of you noticed when you get dressed and you put a coat on that you always put the same arm in first? Like for me, it's my left, just, and on it goes. If you get the left arm on, I can flick the rest of it on. How many of you can do that? It's like a Michael Jackson manoeuvre. It's just... And you can get the car door slam closed, noticing that the keys are still in the ignition, all of that sort of stuff. You ever gone in a clothes shop and they help you try a coat on and they start on your wrong side? Another move that doesn't make you feel intelligent. Does anyone in the room notice when you get undressed, you catch your knickers on the bottom one foot and just flick them in the dirty clothes basket? Any of you do that? You want to have some fun tonight, just try with the other foot. You go flat in your face. You want to see one of these programs happening, and you can keep your knickers on. You want to see one happen? Rightio. Put your hands in your lap. Unless you know the person you came with really, really well, put your hands in your lap. Fold your arms. Have a look at which arm's on top, which arm's underneath. Put them back where you started. Now fold them the opposite way. Whoops, better let them go, hey. Now how many of you noticed the first time they just slid in there, boom, and they're in there? Yep. Second time, how many, hands up if you had to talk to them? I had a guy in the audience one time, he goes, Ugh. He goes, there you go, see, it's easy, Blackburn. Oh, shit. My watch is still on top. This is amazing, the things that amuse us. Have we got any smokers in the room? Got any smokers in the room who are willing to say so? Quick, how many? No, that's not a number. How many? Beg pardon? 20 a day. You're not even trying, mate. Someone else? Can do better than 20 a day? Beg pardon? 40 or 50 a day. See, go over and see that guy. He's a successful smoker. What's your name, mate? John. Do you have to count them? Like, do you have to make sure you stay up to speed during the day, mate? Or do you just get there? So you just get there? Yep. You know, one of the things we're never going to find John doing? Counting the smokes in his cigarette packet, going, like halfway through the day going, I'm behind schedule. Never hear him doing that because they're going to get there automatically. Does that make sense? We've got any nail biters in the room? Anybody here bite their fingernails? What's your name, mate? Murray? Okay, give us a look, Murray. Yep, that's just sport, mate. We've got anybody who's serious? What's your name, mate? Brendan? Okay, can I have a look, mate? You know what I can see from here? We're going to have to run with Murray. Murray, is it true? Do you know that guy beside you? You do? Well, is he a friend of yours? Met yesterday? Cool. Mate, you have met one of the most exciting women on the planet. There are times in her life, well, just a quick test. Murray, is it true that every now and then your hands run up your chest and jump in your mouth while you're not watching? You can't see Murray, but she's hanging her head, she's going like that. Yes, it's true. Rightio. And what's your name, mate? Tim? Make sure you get to know her better. Because there's times in her life when she has no idea where her hands are. And we all need to know someone who's like that. Okay, so, does that make sense? 60,000 programs, 60,000 things you can do without ever having to think about it. So Mary and I, where's Mary? You there, Dale? Just wave, Dale. It's my wife, Mary. It seems to be a popular thing to say how long you've been married. We've been married 32 years. So there you go. Now I've forgotten why I mentioned her. Just went into a love bubble and got lost. Well, I was actually thinking about where her hands are. I don't know why I mentioned her. So what were we talking about? 60,000 programs. So Mary and I met on the job as school teachers. We're ex-school teachers now, but we met in 1974 at Westfields High School in the western suburbs of Sydney. And she was a science teacher and I was a woodwork teacher, and we met up and away we went and been together ever since. As two school teachers, we were earning, in the last years that we were school teachers, we were earning $15,000 a year each before tax. Her wage was more than mine, but combined 30 grand. We just never had enough money, so we knew we had to go into business. It seemed to be the only other alternative. And so, because we never had enough money, and there was a court case going on at the time where the Teachers Federation had taken the government on and was asking, could we get paid some more? We got used as a test case. So we were proof that there was never enough money. Because we were two school teachers, honest, hard-working, blah, 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 blah. 30 grand a year. Well, we never stayed around long enough to hear the results of that. We got in business. The next year we earned approximately 300 grand. It was about 290,000 net profit the next year. We went to the accountant and he said, you've made all this money. I said, that's why I don't want to be involved with you accountant lying bastards. He said, why? What's up? And I said, if we made all that money, mate, where is it? He said, well, I'm not at your house. He said, but I've looked at your figures. He said, you seem to have spent slightly more than you earned, so you can be broke at any level. Does that make sense? Can be broke at any level. And so our income multiplied by 10, but our position changed by, in fact, there was a bit more stress. Fascinating, isn't it? It's true. There are only two positions worth being in financially. Fabulously wealthy or absolutely broke. Because everywhere in between is a struggle. So if you've got nothing and everything you own fits in a backpack and someone says, can you help me sail this boat to Bermuda? You can go, do I feel like that? Okay, off you go. But for most people in this room, someone says, it'll take us 6 months, sail this boat to Bermuda. You want to come? Most of us are going to have to say, I'm a bit tied up for the next 20 years. Does that make sense? Okay, so this programming thing is where we've got to get to. It's critically important that we get to that level. So let's put that aside and have a look at this. If you look at health, how many of you know somebody who's always sick? Like they just catch whatever's going. Can I see your hands? Now it's true that they're not sick 100% of the time, isn't it? Like there are brief periods where they're swapping from one to the other. You know, between hepatitis and herpes there's a gap. But it's usually when they prank the car. If we went to a mother with 3 kids and said, how come you never get sick, what would she say? Haven't got time. That's a clue. That's a clue. If we went to somebody running their own business and we said, how come you never get sick, what would they say? Can't afford it. That's a clue. 2 clues. To get sick, you've got to have the time and the money. Make sure you don't ever have the time and the well, make sure you've got plenty of time and money. If people run their own business, when do they normally get sick? Holidays. So how many of you know somebody who got a horrible illness, they were supposed to die and they didn't? Hands up if you know someone in that category. You're looking at someone. 4 years ago they said, Paul, you've got prostate cancer, you'll be dead in 3 years. I said, is there any other version? And so we're able to turn that around. Where's Janet? Are you around, Janet? Can we get a microphone for Janet? Can you stand up, Janet? Can you turn her on? Hello? Do that. Yeah, I can turn you on. I sleep every night with this woman. Okay. How long ago did you meet us, Janet?
Sorry, what's it for?
How long ago did you meet us?